Welcome to the University of Barbecue. My name is Lars Johnson. Today we're going to be talking about cooking wood. And so I'm going to show you a few different splits of wood that I have on hand. I'll talk about my process with those cooking woods, and then I'll give you a couple tips if you kind of want to follow along and try it yourself. All right, let's get to it. Today we're going to talk about some hickory, pecan, blackjack oak. This is red oak. This is a piece of post oak that has the bark on, and this is another piece of post oak that doesn't have any bark on it. The first one that I'm going to show you today is a piece of hickory. You'll notice that it actually has the bark still on it. I'll talk about that in just a moment. Hickory is one of the quintessential barbecue woods. It puts off a lot of great smoke, has a lot of great flavor. Got to be careful with hickory because it can be overpowering, but in terms of BTUs, extremely high, burns extremely hot, burns for a long time. It takes a really long time to establish a coal bed, so it's not going to break down quickly. So you may still want to have some other type of coal in there with you while you're using this. So this is pecan. You'll notice that it doesn't have any bark on it. Again, we'll talk about that in a moment, but I love the pecan wood because it's an extremely versatile wood. I think you can use it for just about anything. It puts off a good amount of smoke, but it's not too heavy. Definitely not as heavy as something like a hickory or a mesquite, anything like that. It burns hot. It's almost as high in BTUs as the hickory. And so if there was a wood that I had to pick forever, and it's like the only wood I could access, it would be pecan. This is blackjack oak. The profile, when you look it up online, suggests that it has a milder smoke. To me, it's actually pretty heavy. I think it's great for beef. I think it's great for stuff that has a bark on it. I don't use this for chicken. I don't use it for fish or anything like that because I feel like it's just a little too heavy in terms of the smoke. Burns pretty hot, but not as hot as pecan or a hickory, but it's still pretty hot burning wood. I like red oak to establish a coal bed. It burns hot, it breaks down quickly. Not a very heavy smoke. It's a moderate smoke to a milder smoke. I keep this on hand when my fire's starting to die and I really need to reestablish that coal bed and get something going in my firebox, and I think it's great for that. This is post oak with the bark on and post oak with the bark off. In terms of the wood that you'll hear about, especially in Central Texas barbecue, you're going to hear about post oak. Post oak is a moderate smoke. It'll give you kind of that perfect balance in flavor. There's plenty of BTUs coming off of this, and so you can do long cooks, you can do short cooks. It's a very versatile wood, but it's not going to give you that heavier smoke flavor like you would get with a hickory or even a pecan. That's why the Central Texas barbecue folks love it, because it's so versatile when you're trying to cook things like chicken. If you want to cook something like a brisket, or you want to go over to some pork chops, you don't have to switch which species of wood you're using. You can stick with the post oak for all of it. Is that a spider? It's a spider web on it. All right, folks, that's all I got today. I don't want to bore you with too much stuff about the different types of wood that you can use, but I'll do another video to talk about fire management and the size of your splits and how you can kind of cut your splits down. I'll do that at some point and give you some tips on that as well. As always, I appreciate you. Love, peace, and barbecue.